Okay, good evening everyone. So we're on the 9th of November already, I can't believe it, 2020, okay. And we're on, it's block 1 and it's week 4, okay. And basically tonight I'm going to talk a bit about suffering actually, but I'm also going to just go over some of the things that we've talked about and the different styles of meditation, okay? So I have mentioned, through the last few weeks about suffering, that suffering actually is when we are resisting things, okay? And meditation in many ways is about bringing ourselves into present awareness, but it's in a way that we actually don't get entangled with the suffering. Suffering, what do I mean? Suffering is actually in many ways a perception, right? So if you think about it, that when we are even in physical pain, mental or emotional pain, is often what we believe about that situation is what drives the suffering, right? So when you learn to meditate, you are bringing yourself in a present awareness. You are detaching from an outcome, right? And you are giving yourself that space, right, from being so emotionally entangled and mentally entangled with a situation or what you believe about a situation. So does that make sense to everyone? Do you get any questions
Yeah.
about that? Okay, I do. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Claire.
It's
Sorry.
the thoughts, I think, the thoughts that go with the suffering, which is what the perception is.
Exactly. And even when we have physical pain, right, which is harder, well, I'm not saying it's harder because mental can be just as much, but what I mean is someone's in a lot of physical pain, right, the more that we actually resist physical pain, right, we can perpetuate the pain, because what happens is the body gets tense, the body wants it to go away, right? So you get frustrated, you understand? So it's like the mental, but also the body starts to really get, it's like you're not allowing it. So you're not also allowing the energy to move, right? So there's lots of different theories about pain, and I don't want to bring this all about physical pain, but I'll just talk about this. There's different types of physical pain and there's different causes of physical pain, right? So there's things like inflammatory, there's sometimes there's like nerve things, and there's some types of pain that the body just continuously, it's like a re-trauma, right? But the reality is that when we don't allow something to come up, we're often not allowing just energy to move, and we're not giving the body space to heal itself as well. Okay, it's not as straightforward as that. I'm not going to I mean, some of these things are, we've got to watch, because I notice a lot of people say a lot of things and it's maybe not exactly, precisely, because there's a wee bit more to it. But the reality is suffering does come from very much resistance, right? It is a resistance, okay? So meditation brings us into that ability to be able to become more resilient, and that's why I really believe it's a fantastic thing that children should learn, okay? So what I've done is I've put this, this is a candle, it's just like a video, kind of a wee loop. Put it on, but I want you, we're going to start with just the normal breath meditation, but if any of you wish to use the candle as a visual aid, you can, you don't have to, right? I'm going to get you all to start with the normal breath meditation, but if any of you want to try using. And we're going to try and aim for at least maybe 25 minutes tonight, really focusing on the one type of meditation. But if you feel that focusing on the breath, you're getting a wee bit too distracted, just bring yourself to the candle if you want. Or you can choose to zone in on a sound. You've learned different ways to meditate. You can alternate between two different kinds, whatever feels right for yourself. But this is about just trying to extend and build up your meditation practice. Okay. So I'm just going to put this one away loop at the moment. Repeat. Okay. Do we see if that is altered? I can't remember if it's repeat or autoplay that you have to do for a loop. Can anybody remember? Well, I think it's on both, so it should be fine. Okay. So, do we see? Is that this? Yep. Okay, so what I want you to do, as just what we normally do, is just get yourself positioned in a nice seating position. Or if you are sitting in a lotus position or a Burmese position, whatever is right for you. And then when you're ready, I just want you to drop your shoulders, drop your hips, and just get your arms and your hands relaxed. And a good way is just to let your hands rest on your palm with your hands scooped upright. Okay, so I'm just going to mute some of these. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's it. Okay. And then when you're ready, for those of you who wish to I think we'll all start by just focusing on the breath. Okay, so if you bring yourself into your breath, and before we do that, if you can just bring your awareness to your feet, get grounded, because I know people are not very grounded at the moment, so just draw your awareness into your feet, the weight of your feet, and then just imagine you're connecting to the earth in whatever way feels right for you. And if any of you feel as if that you would like to draw a bubble of energy around you, just to protect your energy, just to help you raise your vibration, do so. And then when you're ready, just bring your awareness to your breath. Observe your breath going in and observe your breath going out. Observe your breath going in and observe your breath going out. Now I should just add, as you're being a witness to your breath, just allowing your breath to, it's just follow its natural pattern. So it's not about putting any pressure on yourself. And if you're even aware that when you're observing your breath, that you're holding your body tight, just relax your shoulders, relax your hands and your fingers, and just be a witness to your breath going in and out. In and out. Just be aware of the rise and fall of your breath. Remember, it's okay if any thoughts come in. You just bring your focus back to the moment, which is your breath. Save your breath going in and save your breath going out. And we're just going to continue allowing you to meditate. If any of you want to use the candle, you can, or just use this time to build up your breath meditation. And again, if your mind wanders, that's okay. Bring your focus back to either your breath or the candle, whatever you're using to meditate. Again, if your mind begins to wander, just bring yourself back. And if you think of your mind as like the sky, and your thoughts, you can see them either as clouds coming and going, or even birds coming in and floating in and out. That is just, you just allow those things to come into your mind, and then you just let them go. Be a witness. And when you be a witness, you start to recognize that they're actually an aspect of you. It's almost like there's someone else watching. There's a part of you that is the witness to your thoughts, and that is the self. If you find any uncomfortable emotions starting to come up, just allow them to come up. Don't get entangled in a story of why you feel a certain way. Again, just be a witness. Just be with whatever is coming up from more a witness perspective, and you'll find it starts to loosen off and move. Remember, emotions are just energy in motion. And it's when we resist them, we try and push them down, we deny them, suppress them, they're going to want to try and come back up some other way. That is one of the reasons why it's so easy to teach children meditation. Children don't tend to analyse things as much. They don't have as many names for the way they feel. So they can just be and accept that something is coming up. They're not in a state of judgment or fear of denying, or you're basically teaching them to be, in a more natural state of being, instead of attaching all these different tags, I suppose, with different emotions, as if, certain emotions we shouldn't feel. They're just emotions. So again, just be a witness, bring your point of focus back to either your breath or the candle. Now, if you're not focusing on the breath, if you're maybe focusing on the candle, maybe a sound. I want you to bring yourself back to your breath. And I want you to be aware of the energy perhaps around you. Is there anything you notice about the energy around you, around your body? Okay, and just be a witness. Just think of the first word that comes to mind. And then just be aware of the energy within you. Again, just go with the first word that comes to mind. And then I just want you to slowly and gently bring yourself back to the room. Just want to check in with you all to see how you're doing. No rush to come back. Okay, now any can unmute if you want. You don't have to. He's in a nice calm state. Just to check in to see how he's feeling. Just check to see if anybody found that hard, if that was a lot easier this week. And I see you've unmuted. How are you feeling? Joanne, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry. I'm miles away. Yeah, I feel really calm and a lot more grounded than I did before I started, and my energy sort of feels cleaner. I feel more together, more solid.
Yep. Actually, I felt it a lot deeper for the meditation tonight for some reason. See, one of the things is if we see the more people are doing it and they're grounded, it helps everyone else. Adette, how are you?
I'm really feeling like in between. I go really deep into the relaxation. Like I said before, I don't know if it's just because I'm overtired, but I lull in between and out again. So, but it's almost like I go so deep that I'm a bit dopey, you know.
That's a sign that you do need more rest. So that's just a sign that you're maybe not enough quality sleep. You're not giving yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just a cue to. Also, sometimes it can also happen if you're dehydrated as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Eileen. That could be that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Sometimes I forget to say that. Andrea, how are you? How are you getting on? I think you're muted. I think you're still muted, Andrea, and maybe you're muted. You might be muted for a reason. It was your unmute, you meant to say?
My dog was barking. Hi. The dehydration, that was a good point, and I thank you for that. As I was in my meditation, one of the things that I was doing was being the witness.
Yep.
And I found the best way to do that for me
Yep.
was that I sat in the chair across from myself.
Right. Okay. Yep.
And I watched myself.
Oh, there you go. Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, because I tried at first doing it from a higher vantage point.
Yep.
That didn't work. That didn't work too well for me. But
Okay.
actually sitting across from myself and observing me as I was meditating worked pretty well tonight.
Oh,
So
that's good.
yeah, so I understand now, truly understand what being the witness
Yes.
means and how I can do that.
Yeah, I think because, and it's about, not expecting anything. I think it's just where sometimes we read these books or we do things, but I always believe that meditation in many ways is unlearning what things mean, if that makes sense. So that's why when I say to people, meditation is not something you just go and do in a course and learn a day or a year. That's why most people that teach meditation tend to be these gurus that go for, I went for 10 years before I taught, but it's associated with something because it's very much an unlearning of how we've did things before. So even though it may appear that we're teaching these techniques, we're actually helping people unlearn habits and ways of being that they've got conditioned, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the thing, it's about, it's about completely unraveling as well, in a way. So is there anybody else wants to share anything? How's Mark getting on, and Claire?
Yeah, Eileen, I found it really good. I think the prompts were very helpful. I kind of had like a feeling of kind of frustration coming up, I think, from being very busy these days. And
Yeah.
I kind of sat there and thought, okay, I'm going to watch myself being frustrated at this time. And
Yeah.
it kind of all really went into it and sat with it, and it came on strong and then passed. It was very, like what Odette said, I kind of came out of it feeling a bit kind of dopey, but in a good way, just like a kind of, process something. So it was helpful.
Well done, Mark, because sometimes that's the hard part. When we're feeling like that, we don't want to sit with it.
Yeah.
None of us want to do that, but the more we do, it really does shift. So very well done for that. That's good. I don't know if Claire's wants to come on or not. She's maybe not. She's maybe got sound. Sometimes we get background. Okay. So what I'm going to actually ask you what you would like. I can actually. I was going to teach you something. I normally to end with a guided meditation, but it's up to you. I can actually, Claire knows this technique, but I can teach you a technique that helps you with manifesting and also helps with healing if you want. Okay. Now, it's not a guided meditation, but this is a very useful technique. I don't normally teach it on beginner meditation classes, but most of yous, and obviously Andrea's a healer as well and a therapist, so it's not as if, it's a different type of group we've got tonight. Okay, it's a very useful technique. Okay, but I have to add to you, if I teach you this technique, technically it's to do with the rules, to do with this technique. You can't technically go and charge anyone for using this technique because there's a trademark on it. I did do training in it, but it's very complex, right? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll not even tell you the technique, so then it doesn't get you into trouble, right? But this is a very powerful technique. So what I'm maybe do is I'll put my camera on so you can maybe see. This might not need to see what I'm doing, but I'm going to just easy, right? So basically this technique is a technique that tricks the mind to get into a deep state of meditation, and it gets you into the 0 point, right? Now, the 0 point is where healing occurs, okay? And the 0 point is regarded as where manifestation, and the class, obviously, lots of things, if you look at quantum physics, is the 0 point is where lots of things happen in the world. Okay, so when I teach you this technique, what we normally do is I teach everyone how to do it in a group, and then what we do is we ask everyone in the group to have, they don't have to speak it out, but they have their own intention, right? So everyone gets a minute or two, and we focus our intention on that person's intention, okay? I know some of you maybe don't want to share it, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it, and then we're going to briefly go around everyone in the group. If any's have to leave, it's fine, but you know, I'll not go on too long. But this is a really good way of trying to send, it's like a positive intention without the ego getting involved. So I'm going to explain, right? A lot of people say affirmations, right, and law of attraction, but why does for so many people, do some of these things not work? Often it's because the ego is involved, and we often want things that we don't have, or we don't feel we've got enough, right? But when you use something like this, which works in the 0 point, and it's the same with if you go in and you meditate first and then allow your intuition to guide you to manifest something that works more effectively. If you just go to a meditation and you've got this kind of, oh, I'm going to meditate because of this, the ego can get involved, right? But this tricks the brain. So basically we're getting into the 0 point, right? So basically what I want you to do is you're going to take basically index finger, right? And you're going to place it on your leg, right? Like your thigh area, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes, and you're going to take your right hand, like the right index finger, sorry, I'm trying to kind of, it's quite hard for me to show you this, but basically you just take that and you place it on your thigh, okay? And you're going to close your eyes, and you're just going to bring your point of focus, okay, to the energy between the fingertip, the fingertip and that point on the thigh, right? So it's like you're zoning in and only that, as if that is the only thing that is important, okay? So it's the point between the fingertip and that point in the thigh. And we're going to do the exact same. You're going to let go of the right finger, the pointy finger, and you're going to do with the left finger and do exactly the same. So place the finger. Now I should add, when you're doing this, you're not pushing it right in. You're actually just taking the tip of the finger and gently applying it to the thigh, right? And you're just, again, you're zoning in that point between the fingertip and between the skin or the fabric, whatever you're touching, and only that point you're focusing on. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're actually going to use the 2 fingers at the same time. Okay, so apply the right first of all, okay, and be aware of that point, and then the left point. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create a third, right? And your third point sits like a pyramid, right? So imagine a line going up like that, right? Now, what I tend to do, I either use it as my third eye, or I do it in the heart area, right? But I prefer using it in the third eye, and I'll tell you in a wee minute why. Okay, so basically, so apply the right finger, the left finger, and then imagine a line going from right, the bottom, to the left, and then right up to the third eye and back down. Right, then a line across to the other finger, up to the top, to the third eye, and back down. And then what you're going to do is just zone in as if you're in the middle of that area. And I like to zone in as if it's the heart I'm zoning in. Now, I'm not focusing the heart, but it's almost as if I'm in a triangle. And it's like the heart energies in the angle. That's what I feel it. So what if you lose it, and if you feel you should start feeling a change in energy. If you lose it, you just simply bring what we call your anchor. You apply the fingertip to the thigh, right? Apply your fingertip to your left. Okay, you imagine a line's been drawn, right to left, up to the top, the third eye, and back down like a triangle, and then you allow the triangle just to disappear, and you just feel this zone. And I just want you to zone in for that for a few minutes. If you lose it, you just go back to how I showed you and how I explained it. And you don't focus on anything else except this zone at the moment. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call out different people's names, just one by one, and you don't have to answer me or anything, but we're just going as if giving you space to set your intention. So obviously they're all muted anyway, okay, so I'm just going to go to Mark first. So Mark, it's your turn. So basically what I want you to do is just set an intention for this session, something that you would like help with or support with, okay? And everyone is going to just tune in and use the technique to zone in and Mark's intention. So what you can do is just imagine you're focusing on maybe Mark's heart, and then you just let it go. As soon as you think about it, then you just let it go and you zone in, and for approximately 2 minutes you just use the technique, okay? So again, if you feel as if you're losing your focus, you just go back and anchor in, okay? You can do it as many times as you want. Right finger, left finger, right to left, up, like a triangle, back down. Okay, now it's Claire's turn, so we'll just, Claire sets her intention. Okay, and we can just imagine almost she's sending the intention into your heart. Just almost as if we're imagining our intentions in our heart, and then we just let it go and we tune in to the triangle. Okay, now we're going to go to Andrea. So Andrea goes into her heart and sends her attention. And we'll just imagine we're in, focus on Andrea's heart, and then again we just go back to the triangle. Okay, now focusing on a date. So a date, you send your intention in your heart. And we'll just bring your awareness to date's heart. And then we just bring our awareness back to the triangle. Now, Joanne. So Joanne, just put your intention in your heart. And again, like everyone's done before, we just bring your awareness to Joanne's heart, and then we just hold the space. You just let go and anchor into the triangle. Okay, now I say my intention. I just go into my heart. Same use, just bring your awareness to my heart, and then we'll just focus back in to the triangle. Okay, now what is all to do is send peace to the world. So we're all sending peace and love to the world, and then we all anchor in. So we're doing it all at the same time. Imagine we're sending peace and love, and then the triangle. And just slowly and gently in your own time, bring yourselves back. And you can just unmute yourself in your own time as well. Okay, how did you find that?
That was wonderful.
Good, Andrea?
Yes, yes,
Good, good.
yes. And I
Very
found your energy very strong when
That's,
we were focusing on your intention. Extremely strong.
there you go. That's good. So, did you feel it quite? It's quite deep. It's a very deep technique. Now, the really great thing about that technique is the more people that do it. I've actually thought about doing a monthly group. Just been doing that, using techniques like that to help people manifest, change things. So it might be something I will offer again. I used to do it. But it does shift through things. I'm not saying everything definitely happens that people ask for, but what it does is, because it's coming from the 0 point, the ego is not involved as much. Okay. And it's used as a healing technique as well. It's a very, very powerful healing technique. Okay. Adette, how did you find it? You look exhausted. You look
I can't
as if
see
you really
myself.
need bed.
How did I feel? I'm familiar with this kind of heart meditation because of the heart math that I'm
Okay.
something
Yep.
similar. I felt it quite strongly when you said about the point up to the forehead.
Okay, right, okay, okay.
I felt a pressure on my forehead.
Your
for a
third eye
while.
was probably opening up. Yeah, it's probably helping your third eye open up. I mean, that wasn't really my intention, but that's probably what's happening. It's probably helping to open your third eye up. That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I felt quite emotional as well, just as a moment when the attention is on you, because you're receiving, it's because you know that you're receiving love, aren't you, in some form, some care.
Yep.
And then I could feel, when you feel that intention from other people, then I felt emotional. That's what I felt as well.
Yep. The thing about this too is very pure, because you don't even have to, there's that intention, but also it's coming from, see, a lot of healing modalities, we're very focused on the client, but even though we do, it's almost like you're letting the ego move away, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. Anybody else want to share? Claire, do you want to share anything?
Yeah, I mean, I've done this before, as you said, and I feel it right from the word go. As soon as you say focus, because we also used to do it between thumb and finger, I think. But as soon as you say focus on that space, something shifts for me, and I could feel heat in both fingers.
That's because you've got a strong anchor, because you've done it a lot. You came to my classes for a long time to do that, so it'll be a strong anchor for you.
Well, what I wanted to say, last time we did it, I can remember getting these amazing sensations all the way up both arms, but not during the meditation itself. It would happen days later, like something like just a warm heat, and I kept getting it day after day, and I knew that's what it was. I've not had it since, but during those times that we were doing those meditations, I used to get it a lot. So if anybody does get that, you know where it's coming from. It feels really good. Yeah.
That can be your energy channels moving, so your own healing abilities coming through as well, and energetic shifts. So it can be all sorts of things. Mark, how did you find that?
yeah, I'm kind of like for you know, like kind of
I don't know what's going on with your mic went. You sounded like a robot there. Or a ghost, maybe. Try speaking again. Do we see?
That's better. Maybe I have to know.
No, I just don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. You're still with us, aren't you?
Lots of energy.
Okay. Andrea, how did you get on? Oh, did I ask you, Andrea? Sorry, I did ask you, sorry. Joanne,
Yeah.
I know you're muted. Do you maybe have a reason for you muted?
Oh no,
Hello.
I'm just standing.
How did you get on?
Yeah, I felt it really strongly in my heart. It was just really lovely. I really enjoyed that. I didn't really understand it, to be quite honest, because I'm quite new to this sort of thing. So
You don't have to understand that technique. I didn't really want to get into too much because to understand it's got a trademark to it. It's too complicated. I trained on 2 levels in it, and I was supposed to go to America to be a trainer in it, and then I was really annoyed to put so you'd done 2 levels, and then you were supposed to, that was you, and then they changed the rules, and there's a whole thing now. If anybody, you can't charge for teaching and all that, and if someone else, they can be charged a lot of money. It's a very simple technique, and it cost me a lot of money to do the 2 levels, and but it took the guy 30-40 years. Basically what it does is it tricks the brain to actually get into the 0 point, which would normally take a yogi about 30 or 40 years to achieve. So this guy was meditating if he was 7-year-old, and he's in his 60s now.
wow.
And I think he started maybe 10 years ago. He took it, so he took that many years to find a way to try and get people who were not yogis, into a certain level of meditation, deep meditation, and that was what he's come up with, So it's very useful, but so that's something else. So I will be doing a new block of these, and I might be something, because I know that this for a lot of people are struggling in all sorts of levels at the moment. I might do that, the technique that I did on something else, and use some other techniques for people. I'll have a think about it. Now somebody's put something to see re-message, is it? Sorry, my chat. Mark, thanks, Mark, because I found it quite trippy. Yeah, quite deep into it and felt a bit out of body in a way, like in an empty space. It goes a bit funny in long calls, right? No problem. Yes, exactly. Do you know, I'll be honest, Mark, see, sometimes even when I do it, I've got to watch, I start jerking about. So see if you've got anything energetic or even medical conditions, it can release a lot. So I was a wee bit thinking, should I do this or not? I'll have to put my camera off just in case I start having a seizure or something. But what it does, it just clears your energy field, okay? But it can be quite deep and, as you say, very trippy. That's a common thing, but very good. Okay, great to see you all. Okay, have a lovely evening, and that's you's get another tool that you can play about, even if you're just using it for yourself. Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you,
Andrew.
everybody.
Bye, Claire,
Thank you.
Joanne, Mark. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I did trying to leave.
Bye.